Champion.
You want the body rough? You want the G-mix? Call me.
Yardman Young. Mash up the place.
Star boy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Susu. I go by Miss Susu. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's been showing me mad love on my YouTube channel, on their social media. I appreciate it. Because of you guys, that's the reason why I'm here. This is our channel. Let's grow it together. Please guys, before the year end, help your girl to get to 300 subscribers. Even more, I manifested it will happen, and we even get more than 300 in Jesus' name. Let's all get it, man. So I'm back with another story time. I did a poll, I think it's called poll, on Instagram, and this was the most highest requested video by everybody, literally everybody. So I thought, why not? The people requested it, I'm here to deliver. So this will be a labor and delivery story time where I'll be telling you how I told my African mom, my Congolese mom, my Zambian mom, my British mom that I was 7 months pregnant. Yeah, I'll be telling you, and I'll be letting you guys know her reaction. I wish I recorded back then, but like her reaction was, yeah, it was something else. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Please guys, help me to get to 300 subscribers, even more. I really appreciate it. Love you all so much, and let's get into today's video. Oh my god, it makes me feel old. I feel like an old woman. It's been 9 years already. 9 years ago, I was in high school. I didn't even know what I wanted to do in my life. I didn't even know where my life was heading to. I was just this little girl, this little Congolese girl in high school, just doing what every student's doing. But look at me now. A whole grown woman, a whole mom, a whole grandmother, a whole wife. I'm only joking, guys. I am not married. I'm single. Literally, I keep getting this type of question on Instagram, like, are you married? Are you married? Are you married? I'm like, no. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Well, do I carry myself like a married woman? Then it's a good thing. But yeah, I'm not married. I'm very much single. Very, very, very much single. Yeah, and just single and beautiful. Let me give you an insight on how I found I was pregnant. So basically, I used to run for my school. I thought I would be the next Usain Bolt. What's that woman who runs for England? I think she's called Jessica something. I thought I want to be like her. I'll be running for this country. You know, I'll show my skills. I thought I was the baddest of the baddest. So I used to run for my school, and then we were doing, I think it's called cross country, where other schools come to your school and you compare with each other, and then you win like a medal or something like that. Yeah. So then we were doing our last training. This was the last run for year, I think it was like year 9 and year 10. I must have been in like year 10. Yeah, I must have been like in year 10. Yeah, year 10. This was the last run for year 10 and year 9s. So we were competing with other schools and all the other year. So then whilst we were doing training, I fell down, and I just had this sharp pain down there, and I was just thinking, oh my god, what is this? I couldn't move my leg, I couldn't do anything. And then my friends, they were racing, and they kept on asking me, what's wrong? I'm like, keep going, come on, we need to win. Like, our school needs to bag it. Like, we can't let these St. Cuthbert students beat us in our own school. No, keep going, don't worry about me, I'm good. So then the teacher came, and they were like, what's wrong, Antoinette? Okay, for those who don't know me, my middle name is Antoinette, innit? The teacher was like, what's wrong, Antoinette? And I'm like, miss, I don't know what's wrong. I can't move my leg, it just feels cold. And then they're like, no, that's not normal, and this is not like you. You're very competitive, you're into your sport. Literally, I was a tomboy. If you knew me back there, you know I was a tomboy. My hair was short, I didn't wear makeup. I was just that tomboy, innit? And then they're like, okay, we need to call the ambulance. They rang the ambulance. The ambulance came. They took me to the hospital, And then they did a few checks. They were like, young lady, you are pregnant. You are pregnant. I said, who? For who? For who? I'm only joking. They said, young lady, you are pregnant. And I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, pregnant? That's when my modeling, that's when my modeling career was blowing. That's when I had bookings. Like, I had so much going on for myself that time that a baby couldn't fit in it. But somehow he doesn't now, innit? But that time, I didn't know how I was going to balance being a model, being a student, and being this athletic girl at the same time as a tomboy, and being a mom. It was just, to me, it didn't make sense. I remember I asked them, like, what's my options with this pregnancy? Even though, for those who know me, I'm anti-abortion. But at that time, you know, like, when you hear something, yeah, and you're young, you know, a big woman where you live by yourself, where you be like, yeah, I'll look after my kid, I live by myself, I pay my own bills. No, I live with my parents. I live with my family. I have siblings looking up to me. I have other cousins, family, neighbors, children looking up to me because I was just a go-getter. And I'm like, now everybody's just going to be like, how did you get pregnant? Even when I told everybody I was pregnant, they were shocked. Because I was a tomboy. You could never catch me with a boy doing never. Like, I was the opposite of that. So then they took me back to school. Yeah, they fixed me up. They took me back to school. And then they told the school I'm pregnant. And I went, once they told the school, yeah, once they're speaking to the head teacher and I'm there, I just started bawling. Like, I was crying like crazy. I'm like, no, it can't be. And then the ambulance people left and the nurse. So then it was just the school nurse and my teachers. They were just there. I told the school nurse, can you do another pregnancy test? Like, I'm not understanding it. I've been seeing my menses. Like, I've not missed any period. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, yeah, sure, we can check. We did another one and it still came out that I'm pregnant. I was just like, you know, have you ever felt like you want to dig a hole for yourself where you just go in and nobody can see you? It's just going to be you in the dark. Literally, I felt like that. And then my head teacher was like, we have to speak to your mom. We have to let your mom know what's going on. We can't keep you here. I'm like, my mom? I said to the head teacher, I'm sleeping in the school. I'm not going nowhere. I was sleeping and they were like, oh, it's 4 p.m. The teachers need to go home. Everybody needs to go. The school needs to close soon. I'm like, no. They tried to persuade me for hours and hours. Now it was going to like 6 p.m. And then I was like, go and speak. I asked the teacher, can you go and speak to my mom? I'll stay in school. If my mom says I can't go home, I will have to sleep in the school. She's like, no, your mom can't do that. Your mom seemed friendly. That's when I started laughing. I was like, my mom seemed what? Friendly. Do you know my mom? Just because she comes to parents' evening, smiling, you feel like my mom is friendly, yeah. Oh, I thought it was, I don't know if you guys know African mother, especially Congolese. My mom is going to break my back. She's going to break my head. Now, I'm a dead mate. I won't be able to come back to school anymore. Like, if you don't see me in school anymore, just know that I'm dead. Finished. And then the school went to speak to my mom and my stepdad. Bless his soul, may his soul rest in peace. And they went to speak to him. And then my stepdad and my mom, they're like, it's fine, she can come home. Yeah, told her not to worry. Yeah. So then the school came back and they were like, your parents said you can go home. I started laughing. I said, no. Did you speak to my mom? They're like, yeah. I was like, no. Did you speak to my mom as in my mom Bridget? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, as in my mom Bridget? They're like, yeah. I'm like, are you guys taking me or am I going by myself? Because if I'm going by myself, I'm not leaving. They're like, no, don't worry, we'll take you because she asked us to take you. And in my head, I'm just thinking, yeah, 7 months plus my mom, plus my stepdad, plus my grandma equals back home, equals getting deported by your own family. By your own mother will deport you without the government permission. And I was just, all those things were just running in my head. I'm like, today I'm dead. Like, my mom, boy, my mom is going to kill me. So then we got to my mom's house. I told the school teacher to go in first, and then I went back. Oh my god. When I went in the living room, my mama sat down, my stepbrother sat down, my brother sat down, and they were just staring at me, all of them. I was just like, and then my mom spoke to the school, and then, you know, the school was like, don't worry, your mom will look after you, we'll see you tomorrow in school. And I was just like this to the school. Every time they say they're leaving, I'm like, I don't want to go. Don't go, please. If you're gonna go, take me to your house. I'm like, they're like, don't worry, your mom's gonna be all right. And they're like, Bridget, are you going to beat her? My mom's like, no. Are you sure she's safe? My mom's like, yeah. I'm looking at them, I'm like, no, don't listen to my mom. And then they went. My mom was just like, my mom is just looking at me like, we mtoto hauna masikio, eh? Leo utakufa, leo tutakupiga we, leo utakuwa ntaba, tutakufanya unakuwa kuanga, tutakupiga unakuwa sombe, utakuwa makayabu, utakuwa kila kitu. And then my mom just staring at me. And the more my mom was staring at me, my heart was just being boom. Have you ever like got so scared like you feel like you're gonna suffocate, like you're gonna die, you can't breathe, like you feel like no air is coming out, now you have to do. I was just like that. And my stepdad was like, the bomb clock, are you pregnant? Bomb clock no there. So what you bomb clock do that for? You know, you got a whole life ahead of you. You got your whole family, so. What the bomb clock you look for outside, you look a picnic. And then I'm just looking at him like, mate, nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. Right now, I'm not even worried about you. I'm worried about my mom. You get me? My mom kind of like came to terms with the fact that I was pregnant. I was 7 months pregnant. I was going to give birth anytime soon. And so much stress whilst I was like 7 months. It was no good. It was just going to put me in danger as well as the baby. And she didn't want that. Like, at the end of the day, I'm her daughter. She loves me unconditionally. And yeah, I was just a child who made a mistake. But it's not a mistake, it's a blessing. Because I'm telling you guys, yeah, let me not even go fast forward the story. If it wasn't for my son, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. If it wasn't for my son, I won't be a go-getter. You know, there's some days where I feel like I can't do it. But when I look at it, I'm like, yo, I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my child. That's when that gives me that energy to carry on. Because, boy, the love I have for him, if you know me, you know I love my son so much. I can't imagine a life without him. I can't imagine him not being in this world. I can't imagine me, Susu, not being a mother. Like, to what? My son is the most amazing child you could ever meet. Like, he's just down to earth. He's just sweet. He's a darling. He's just loving. He's just caring. He's everything amazing. Everything I prayed for and more. Do you get? So yeah, let's get back to the story. So yeah, and then we came to terms with the situation, and my mom started helping me get baby clothes. And then we started getting different things we needed for a baby, because it was such a last minute thing. The school helped me to get baby clothes. The school helped me to get baby this, baby that. Anything which me and my mom were like trying to get, they would get it for us as well. Which I'm very lucky, because, you know, other schools, they could have just let me go and be like, you know what, you got pregnant, yeah. Well, you brought yourself in it out. But the school was very supportive. The head teacher, Mr. Longsdale, he was very loving. And then I think she's called Miss Kokoski from the learning zone. They were very supportive. Like, I had an amazing team with me who supported me, who saw my greatness before I could see it, who saw my potential before I could even know what I'm capable of doing. They hold me down until this day. They're still holding me down. I tell you, I left high school like years ago and they're still holding me down to today. It's like they ask, how is this, how is that, do you need this? They love my son so much, like words can't describe it. Words can't describe it. So then I started going to my midwife, meeting up with my midwife, seeing, you know, how the baby's doing, going for scan. And then I went for my scan with my mom. And then they asked me if I wanted to know what was having, the sex of the baby. And I was just like, no, I don't want to know what I'm having. Whatever I have, whatever baby, boy or girl, it's all a blessing from God. I love this child unconditionally. I haven't even met my baby, but my baby is just my everything, and I don't want to know yet. And another reason why I didn't want to know, because I was gonna name the baby based on the sex, which grandma to name them after. So if it was a boy, I'll name my granddad from my mom's side, and if it was a girl, I'll name it my grandma from my dad's side, because those were like sorry, those were like my favorite grandparents. So then yeah, we went through the scans, and then whilst we were going through scans, I was still seeing my menses, and I spoke to my GP, and I spoke to my midwife about it. They were like, you know, people's body is different. Everybody go through pregnancy differently, and not unfortunately, but you're just one of those people who just see their menses while you're pregnant. So don't you worry about it. And one thing is also, another thing about my school, they were very supportive. Even when I was pregnant, I still went to school. I still start in class with my big belly. Yes. If anyone remember me from high school, they will tell you this. They gave me this big balloon, you know, the hospital balloons. I had them in every single class I went. Before I get to class, the teacher would bring it for me there. Oh my God. Bless Fellinge Park High School, because that school hold me down like, boy. And then like I would literally be like this writing whilst I'm like jumping up on the balloon. They made sure I was comfortable. I didn't get bullied whilst I was pregnant. I'm very thankful. One thing is that I'm a very outspoken person, and I'm so friendly. If you ever come across me, you will literally see I'm so friendly. And in high school, I was a tomboy. I was more like with the boys and the girls, and once I was with the girls, it was just me. I was just one happy kid in it. So I had so many friends, I had so many support. My friend was just making sure I was fine, you know. Every time if I go to school, I look down, everybody would be like worried, asking me what's wrong, is there pregnancy, is it this, do you need this, do you need... I even had people carry my bag. I had people carry my bag. My friend used to go and get my dinner. Like I could do everything, but they would still go and get it. And one thing is, I didn't have morning sickness. I wasn't spitting. I was in nothing. My pregnancy, thank God, I had one of the easiest pregnancy anyone could ever have. My pregnancy was easy. I didn't have any problem at night to sleep. I slept throughout the night. Literally, my pregnancy was the easiest pregnancy, thank God. And then I was going to school with my belly, everything was fine. I was embracing my belly. My friends were embracing my belly. My family was embracing my belly. Like literally, it got to a point where I was now comfortable to share the joy of me being a mother with so many people. Like literally, like everyone was just supportive. Everyone was just like giving me gifts. Everyone asking me, have you got this for the baby? I'll be like, no. Then the next day somebody will bring it. Even students my age in year 10, they were buying me gifts. They were bringing me baby clothes, and it was such a blessing. Even like my friends' parents, God bless them. I've got this friend in high school called Farah. Her mom was very supportive. Her mom literally was asking if I needed anything, if this was okay. And literally I had a good support system, not just in my household but outside my household as well, which made me so comfortable, so at ease. And I listen, once I was pregnant, I was eating everything. I was jumping up and down. I was carrying my little sister on my back. I was cleaning the house. I was just a normal kid, just with a belly. That was it. And when I was started going to like 8 months, that's when my belly started showing. That's when everybody now could see that I was pregnant. Everyone was just embracing my pregnancy. I was so happy. And literally, I was one of those women who were pregnant because, boy, yeah, woman. I was one of those girls or women when they're pregnant. I was literally holding on to my belly. I was like this all the time, as if my belly is about to drop. I embraced every part of my pregnancy. And then it got to a period where I was like 8 months, going like 8 months and a half. I started sleeping a lot in school. Oh boy, I was sleeping. Literally, the moment I get somewhere where it's comfortable, I'm like, the moment I get somewhere it's comfortable, I'm like, literally, I was just sleeping a lot. And then that's when the teacher realized that, damn, like, yeah, she's at the end now. She can do it. And another thing I forgot to mention, when I was pregnant, when I found I was pregnant, the first time I noticed I was pregnant is with my craving. I was craving salted popcorn and ice. Oh my god, I could eat like the whole bag of ice, like crunching it, literally. Like I would, even after my pregnancy, even when my son was like 5 years, 6 years, I was still eating ice. It was such a bad habit. If any of you know me or chill with me or went out with me, you will know that every time I go out, I'll be like, have a glass of ice, please. And I would literally munch, and it really like messed up my teeth because, boy, it made my back teeth very weak. So I had to get like my teeth taken out. So yeah, if you ever realize that I've got a gap there and I've got a gap there, is because I was just crunching on too much ice and it was no good for my teeth. It affected my teeth so bad, but that's a story for another day. So yeah, that's the only thing I was craving for, but I could eat other food. I could literally do everything. It was just normal. Also, when I was pregnant, when I started going to about 8 months plus pregnant, I started being so moody. I didn't want to smell boys' perfume. I didn't want no guy to talk to me. Me and my brother used to fight a lot. Like, literally, it's like I had so much hate for my little brother. God forgive me, I don't hate my brother. I love him to bits. But once I was pregnant, I don't know, like, obviously each pregnancy is different, innit? Like, other people experience different things. I was always upset. I always like had something to say to my little brother. Me and my brother used to fight. I used to bicker my brother. I used to bicker my mom. I used to bicker my stepdad. I was just bickering with everyone. But the only person I loved in my family was my little sister. Me and my little sister were bonding through my pregnancy. She used to speak to my baby. She used to rub my belly. She was just like a little puppy. She just wanted to be, every time, she just wanted to be next to my belly. Which I was just like, yeah, I love you, girl. I love you so much. But yeah, one particular day where I woke up, I had full strength. I was so happy. I just wanted to live my best life. I just wanted to, you know, laugh that day. I was listening to music. I cleaned the whole house. I cooked for the family. I was just in a happy mood. And then after doing everything, I started having this little sharp pain whilst I was eating. And I was like, Mom, like, I've got these little sharp pains, but they're not really sharp. They're not as the way people describe it when they're going to labor, like big knife pain. No, they're not like that. They're just little sharp pain where here and there, and then they go away. And then my mom was like, just watch it, monitor and see how it goes. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go and have a shower. After eating, I went to have a shower. But because I was so scared, yeah, I used to watch Born Every Minute. And that show used to freak me out. Oh my days. I was just like, if these big women, big aunties, big grandma, they're screaming like this, what about me? Small me. What will I do? I was like, damn. And it got to a point where it used to freak me out so much. And my midwife and my mom asked me to stop watching it. And then, so that made me like get freaked out to give birth at home. So every time I go to the toilet, I will probably like sit at the edge because I'm like, I don't want my water to break and my baby go straight in the toilet. No, what's the water break? We need to hold that baby. We need to, you know, be ready. So I used to sit at the edge of the toilet. Literally, I'll be like this. at the edge, because boy, the stories what I seen on one born every minute, it was too scary for me to give birth at home. And those people looked like they were under so much pain. I'm like, give me the epidural, give me the, I think it's called what, gas? Is it called gas? Yeah, whatever that shit is called. Yeah, give it to me, because like, boy, I'm not giving birth at home. So yeah, so when I go and sit on the toilet, I'll be very, very worried on how I sit on the toilet and how I position my bum, you know, all that. So I used to sit at the edge, and then this day I went to have a shower, and when I go and have a shower, I put my I sit on the counter thing in it, and then I put my leg in, that way that's how I'll come off as well. Got myself ready, but the pain kind of like was increasing. I was just, my mom was like, you know what, try to relax, lie down and see what happens. I went to lie down, relax a little bit, and then the pain was still there. So you go, okay, let me just go and use the loo and then see what happens. I went to use the loo, and when I finished, I wiped myself, and then I looked at the tissue. There was a bit of blood on it. So I ran to my mom. There is blood on the tissue. There's blood on the tissue. And then my mom was like, calm down, don't you worry, calm down. Wait, what happened? I started explaining to my mom how I've been feeling. I'm like, it still carried on. And I went to the toilet, ABCD. And then my mom called the hospital, and they're like, no, you need to bring her in ASAP, like right now. She needs to come to the hospital. So then my mom took me to the hospital with my stepdad, and then we met, and then we called my grandmother, my grandfather. We met them at the hospital, and they did a couple of tests. They were like, now your body is fine, everything is fine, your body is just reacting the way it's been reacting throughout your pregnancy, which is like see my menses. And they said they were gonna give me something to stop it, and also I will have to stay in the hospital for them to monitor me until I give birth. I was just like, well, I forgot to mention, this time I was like 9 months and 1 week or 2 weeks. Yeah. So then they're like, you can give birth at any time, so there's no point you going home, you might as well stay here. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I was like, Mom, I don't want to. My mom was like, don't worry, you'll be fine. And then I started getting myself worked up for no reason, literally. And then they were like, one of your parents or your grandparents, one of them has to stay home because you're underage, and you need somebody to stay with you for 24 hours to make sure you're happy, you are fine, you know, all that shenanigans. So then I looked at my mom, and I know my mom. I was like, if my mom stays here, my mom is gonna take the mic. My mom is gonna make a mockery out of everything she sees here. She'll use me for our own entertainment, innit? I was like, So then I asked my grandma to stay, and then my grandfather went to take my grandma's stuff, went to take a couple clothes for me because I didn't think I was gonna sleep in the hospital. So I only brought like the baby bag, you know, the one you're ready to go in the hospital with. And then my grandma stayed, my family went home. When they went, that's when everything was just going down. Everything mess up. Everything what? Mess up. That's when everything mess up. And then the doctors kept on coming to monitor me. And this one doctor came. Gosh. You know, like when you're pregnant, every little touch down there, it hurts. Like literally, it just takes one finger. You are screaming like you're about to die. I never knew that, but boy, I wasn't ready either. So then next to my room, there was this another Nigerian auntie. But this Nigerian auntie, she was big, she was tall, and she was screaming for her dear life. Like you could hear her screaming, like she was in pain. You could hear pain in her voice. And I was just thinking like, this big woman is doing this. What about me? Small me. Dun dun! They're not ready. I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out. If it's this painful, I have high tolerance of pain. If you know me, I have high tolerance of pain because the amount of tattoos I have and where I have them, yeah, you know I have high tolerance of pain. So then The doctor came and they were like, oh, we have to break your water because we don't think you will go in labor normal by yourself, and you'll be fine anyway because you are due to have a baby any day. And I was just like, no, like, can we not just keep it for a bit? They were like, no, we have to break your water. And then they brought this long metal thing, and he had like a little like hook at the bottom. I'll put the name of it here. It had this hook, the hook little thing at the bottom, and they insert it in, and they pop the water, and the water popped. And then once the water popped, that's when I started feeling that little sharp pain coming back. But this time it was not coming back as before, where it will come and it will go. This time it was literally coming back, like it was like back to back. This pain was just doing me like this, like I was just in so much pain. The pain increased, and then I think this time must have been like 2, must have been like 2 or 1 a.m. and then they asked me to start walking up the stairs or around up the corridor and back. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, I'm under so much pain, you're asking me to walk up and down. I don't want to, and I'm not going to, and you won't do anything about it. Do you know when you're pregnant, yeah, watching labor, you will curse anybody, you will curse them out, you will give it to them, because people don't understand that pain is horrible. It's horrible. So then I'm cursing the nurses, I'm cursing my grandma, I'm cursing the doctors. I'm like, what do you mean walk? You go and walk. Who's stopping you from walking? And then my grandma spoke to me, and then yeah, we started walking. I will tell you, definitely when you're in labor, you need somebody who relax you, somebody who reassure you, someone who just, you know, makes you feel relaxed. But if you're with somebody who you're worried what they're gonna say, what they will see, this and that, trust me, the labor thing is about to be long for you. Like, it's about to be long for you, brother. And then my grandma reassured me that I'm fine, she's with me, I'm safe, nobody's gonna do anything, she's watching over me. She prayed for me, and then we started walking. We walked up and down, we came back. I'm looking at my grandma, I'm like, grandma, I'm under so much pain. My grandma's like, come on, you can do it, you're strong, you're beautiful. My grandma is just giving me words of encouragement, telling me about the Bible, telling me about this person gave birth like this person gave birth like this. My grandma is, I think she's got like 9 kids or 8 kids, or yeah. So then she was telling me, like, you know, all those stuff, like what she's been through, what other people have been through, you know, it's nothing, it's just normal. Every woman go through it when you're giving birth. And yeah, mine will be the easiest labor in Jesus' name, you know, all that. We prayed. And then after walking up and down, I'm looking at my grandma, I'm like, grandma, you go to prayer, yeah? Where I looked at my grandma, I'm like, nah, woman, you're not being serious right now, because I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing anymore. I went to the desk thing. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. Like, you do it yourself, because me not doing it anymore. And then they were like, okay, you can go and lie down. And when I went to lie down, that's when now the pain just did paining. The pain was paining me, oh. The pain was just paining me anyhow. Huh? I told them, please, I can't do it. I told my grandma, please pass me the gas in here. My grandma passed it to me. I was blowing this thing, yeah. I was chewing it, because I was in so much pain, yeah, that I just needed to suck onto something that would just make the pain go away. I was literally chewing it. It got me so high that I could barely see anything. The doctors were asking me, I'm just like, pain. They're like, what's wrong? I say, pain. And then I'm like, please give me epidural. Please, epidural. All I could say, please, epidural. And then they gave me some epidural, but then they didn't put it in properly. So I could still feel pain, but it wasn't as bad as before, but the pain was still there. And I'm still screaming, pain. My grandma's like, calm down. I said to my grandma, I don't know if this medication is really working, because what I'm feeling right now, the pressure, no. And then I'm telling them pain. These doctors are just looking at me like, we've already given you the epidural, like, why are you still in pain? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm still in pain. They just look at me like, what's she talking about? And then one nurse, an Asian girl, bless her, she came. She was young as well. She must have been like in her early 20s. She came, I looked at her, I told her, I'm like, girl, I don't know if you can understand my language, but I'm in pain. Like, your sis is in pain. I looked at her, I was in tears. Like, I was there, my nose snot was just coming out, my spit was dry, was heavy. I'm looking, I'm like, babe, I'm in pain. Like, I don't know, I'm in so much pain, even though they gave me the epidural. And then the girl's like, okay, let me check how many centimeters you are, then I'll go and speak to the doctors. And she checked, she was like, oh, you know, the baby's start coming down, so you'll be ready to push anytime. And then I went, and then the doctor came, this fat, listen, I'm a big girl, innit? Like, this doctor was just fighting it, and his fingers were big. Like I said, every little touch down there, it hurt. And then I looked at his finger, I said, how many fingers you put in there? Is that 2? I said, yeah, but me. I said, what? I'm like, all those big fingers down there, you're gonna touch me there? No. You are lying. You know what? You are a liar. The devil's a liar. And then he did check, and then he's like, yeah, you'll be pushing very soon. Everything seems all right. And then I'm still telling him, pain. Then he checked, and then he was like, oh, no, they didn't put it properly. So let me try and add a little bit just to reduce the pain. And it did. And the pain kind of like mellowed. It was still there, but it was mellow. It was just, you know. And then they came to check again. A different doctor came to check. Like, I swear, when you're pregnant, yeah, when you're in that labor room, down there becomes like supermarket. Everybody just coming to check. Everybody just putting their finger up there. No respect, no privacy. Everybody just saying open, and they're ready to put their fingers. You mad? The Queen of Congo, you're touching her anyhow. You're crazy. Something crazy. And then they were checking. And then the next doctor came. She was like, the baby kind of like moved up, the centimeters gone up instead of it coming down. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, the baby was just going up, innit? So they're like, you're not ready anymore. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're lying. And then this must have been like 4 or 3. Let me say 3. And then they're like, okay, let's watch. And it got to like 4:30, and then they checked, the baby was down again. And they were like, okay, we're gonna try to make you push now to make sure that, you know, everything is fine down there. So then they brought, you know, because I was underage, and then they were scared that when the pain gets too much down there, I will close my legs. Brought those thing where they put your legs on, I'll put the name down there, where they put your legs in and they'll block your leg, they'll put it in and they'll block your leg, so that way even if you try to close your leg, you won't close, it's just gonna be open. Like, you can't even like squeeze nothing, because the way they just open your legs like it's a church, literally. And then they do that, and they're like, push. I'm like, they're like, push. I'm like, no, I can't do it. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna push anymore. I'm now cussing everybody. Leave me the F alone. Leave me the And then did that a couple of times to push, and still didn't work. And then they start looking at the monitor, and the baby's heartbeat, instead of it going like that, it was like 2 line. So then they're worried, they're like, what's going on? And then they kept on monitoring it, but you can see like their faces changed. So I was like, is everything okay? I was like, what's wrong with my baby? Like, this time I'm already upset, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm drained, I'm just everything wrong right now. And then they're like, no, don't worry. And then I put a glance where the baby's heartbeat is, and I'm like, no. I said to them, I can't lose my baby. Like, obviously, you know, when you're pregnant, like, it's when you're in labor, it's life and death. So they will try to come here as soon as possible, because it takes just like one trigger and you can lose your life. Literally, you can go into cardiac arrest, anything could happen. So they make sure that you're very calm, you're very relaxed, and they reassure you of your life and the life of your unborn child. So then they were like, you're gonna be all right. And then they kept on checking, nurses kept on running in and out, and then you got to the point where my baby's heartbeat was just like a line. And that's when I was just like, I was praying. I was like, God, forgive me for my sins. Forgive me for everything I've ever done. Please, God, protect my baby. Bring my baby to life. I just want to see my baby. I just want, like, I was praying. I was literally praying so hard. And I, you know, everything I manifested that day for my son to be, I said I wanted him to be a great man, a great leader, a great boy, a great son, a great brother, a great everything. And my son is that among, literally. And then they were like, oh, because of the way the baby is, you have to have an emergency C-section. That's when my whole life just dimmed right in front of my eyes. That's when everything just went in darkness. They're like, yeah, they did a couple tests. They're like, it looks like the baby has eaten the poo in your stomach, so you have to have an emergency C-section to just make sure the baby's fine. We bring him out on time, you know, all that shenanigans. But they'll let you know the pros and cons of the situation. And then we went into the theater, and I went in with my grandma. And they start doing the emergency C-section, where they'll, like, you know, in Africa they normally cut you this way when you are when you're having a C-section, but in this country they cut you from the bottom, like at the bottom of your belly. And yeah, they'll just make a little line, just a little, like this long, probably, or even that, just where they can just pull out the baby's head and the baby's body, literally. And then they started doing that, and I could feel the pain, boy. These people, they were like, you're under what, anesthetic? But let me tell you, I can't say I can't pronounce certain things, so forgive me. Like, yeah, I've got lips, by the way, and yeah, and I'm dyslexic, so can't pronounce a lot of shit. Yeah, the C-section went on, and it just got to a point where I was under so much pain, and they were like, they were bringing the baby out, and I could feel every bit of it. And I tried to like pull out to help them. They were like, no, don't touch here, don't touch here, don't touch here. And I was just like, oh, I'm in so much pain. And they're like, okay, should we put you to sleep? And then I was just like, no, but I was in so much pain. So they ended up putting me to sleep. And then when I woke up, my baby was not in the room. So, and all I could say was my mom, my stepdad, my granddad, my grandma, my brother. And I'm just looking at them like, what happened? Now, all I could remember was my son ate the pool. Is he okay? Is he safe? Is he alive? And I'm just like, what happened? What happened? I'm panicking. I'm shouting. I'm like, where's my baby? Where's my baby? Where's my baby? And then my mom is like, don't worry, your son is fine. He is beautiful. I'm like, I have a son? I was just like, me, a mom to a boy? I'm a boy mom? I'm like, stop it. And I named him after my granddad, who I love endlessly, who I adore and love so much. And I only got to see him for like 2 weeks, a week before he passed away. But I love that man to death. Like, I loved him with every bit of me, literally. And I met him when I was so young, but like the love I have for him since when I was a baby, it's in me. Like, my granddad lives in me. Like, I just love and adore that man. And then yeah, so they were like, oh, there was something wrong with the baby. He's got yellow sugar. Yellow sugar is when, you know, a baby is born with low sugar, I think. Yeah, if I'm explaining right, I'll insert it here. With low sugar, and yellow things comes out of their mouth or their eyes, like where the white thing is, you know, near the pupil is yellow. And yeah, it was just not a good situation. And they've put him in the, I think it's called, is it incubator? Yeah, I think it's called incubator. Oh my god, man, this was 9 years ago. I barely know what's going on with babies these days, but I wouldn't say it here. Yeah, they put him into like yeah, that thing in it. I don't want to say. Oh god. And then they put him in, and they're like, you know what, you can go and see him. I was just so excited. My breast was like here. When I woke up, they were swelled up. And then yeah, they were like, you know what, he's awake now. We'll go and see him and see if he's gonna latch on to your breast. And yeah, so we can figure it out on how to help you, because you won't be going home anytime soon because of your baby's unwell. And when they try to pull him out, they must have like done something to his arm, so he had like, it's not a cast but something to support his arm to straighten it up. So he had that, and I went to see him, and oh god, I will set a picture at the end when I went to see him for the first time. He was so beautiful, like, oh my god, he was absolutely beautiful. He was perfect. He was everything and more, everything I prayed for and more. He was just, it was me, you know. I was so happy. I was in tears. I was thanking God. I was saying, God, thank you for this. God, thank you for my life. God, thank you for, literally, I was happy. And then, yeah, I breastfed him that day for the first time. That's when the mommy thing hits me. But like, because obviously I've been watching like my family with their babies. I've been watching my auntie breastfeed their kids. I've been watching one born every minute. So when they gave me the baby, I was just like, this is natural. I knew what to do. I was just like, and my son literally just, at the beginning, it did literally straight away. It took a couple go before he could finally like suck my breast and stuff. So that was really good. I used to enjoy being a mom. Then they moved me into a different ward where I could wait, where I waited there for 2 weeks. But the only part I hate with having a baby in the hospital and you living in the hospital, I don't know how, you know, those parents who have their kids and they have to go and visit their baby, or they have to pump milk whilst their baby's in the hospital unwell. I don't know how they do it. Like, my respect to you guys, because it's not easy having a baby in a hospital as soon as you give birth. Like, fam, it's hard. Luckily for me, they let me stay in the hospital where I could just go downstairs and breastfeed him and come back upstairs, which was draining for 2 weeks. It was really draining. It got to a point where I was just like, I was so fed up. Like, I was fed up. And then my family came to see me. Some people brought gifts, some people brought this, which was beautiful. And I wasn't, that time once it was in the hospital, I wasn't ready to share my son with people. But obviously, you know, family, my mom would be like, oh, my auntie's coming, but I wasn't even ready to like show my son to anybody at that time. I just didn't want my son, I just wanted to enjoy being a mom before I started showing my child to people. But obviously, you know, I've got an African mom. What can you say? What shall I say? Nothing. So yeah, family came to see him, everybody, yeah, which was beautiful. And then after 2 weeks, it was home time. Ask me why my family thought it was appropriate to show up with no balloon, which says it's a boy, no flowers, no extra balloon. Like, my son is extra. Have you seen me? His mom, I'm extra as hell. Like, why? And then I said to my grandma, like, I'm not leaving this hospital. If you guys are not bringing nothing, we will stay in this hospital until when you guys fix up in it. So my granddad went to get me a balloon, bless him. He got me everything for the baby, which says it's a boy, different balloons, flowers. And I remember once we were coming home, my granddad put did this song, I'm Coming Home. And that song really like spoke to my heart. That song really described how I was feeling, you know. As much as I gave birth to this beautiful baby boy, I felt like I let my family down. I let my family name down, and I just let a lot of people down. But at the same time, we had this beautiful boy who we all going to love. We're going to make sure he grew up to be this amazing man who they were going to support me to bring him up into this world, this cruel and amazing world. They were just, yeah, it described me, because they forgive me for my sins, they forgive me for my wrongdoing, but also we were blessed with this amazing blessing, amazing angel. And yeah, like, I was just, you know, going home, was celebrating, you know, my son being home, my son being officially part of my family at home, which was very amazing to see. And also watching my son grow, it's been one of the most amazing things. You know, I couldn't trade being a mother for anything, because I love being a mom and I love being a boy mom. I love my son so much. He is the biggest blessing. He is definitely my biggest achievement in life. He's everything. He's everything great. Like, everything I do, the empire I'm building it for my son, because he is everything. Like, he's awesome. And yeah, that's my labor and delivery story, and how I told my mom I was pregnant, which was a bit of a sticky one still, but yeah. So that's how my amazing family got to know that I was pregnant. And yeah, big shout out to my little brother, because my little brother's been an amazing uncle, amazing father figure to my son. Like, my brother is everything great. I appreciate my brother, I appreciate my mom, I appreciate my support system, I appreciate my friends, and everybody who's just been part of my journey as a parent, everybody who has given me tips. You know, being a mom, you don't know it all. You learn every day. Even now, even people who have just give birth recently, they will say something or they will do something. I'm like, oh, I never knew. So being a parent, you can never be perfect. It's all a learning curve. And it's an experience that we all go through, and there's nobody who knows it all, because even when your children, they're 20, you're still learning, you know. But yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Press the notification bell below so you'll be notified each time I post. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bisous bisous.
So I'm coming home.